Hello everyone, welcome back to Pirate Cove Philippines. Today I wanted to talk about a situation that comes up from time to time, but I don't see a lot about it on YouTube, so I thought let's do a video on it. Just to cover it, it has come up again in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and what happens is it's the term they use here is called offloading. And what happens is when the Filipino goes to the airport, if they don't have all the right documents and that for leaving the country, they're denied exit from the country. So this offloading, most of the time you're going to hear about it is for OFWs. OFWs, overseas foreign workers. That's where it's most common because there are so many of them that are leaving the country, going somewhere else. And when this normally happens is on the very first time you leave the country. Now this is pretty much true for anybody, Filipino citizen, leaving the country the first time. There's certain requirements that have to be met. The reason for all this is because of human trafficking. Okay, it's really a big problem out here in Southeast Asia, if not all over the world, but it is a big problem here. And this is immigration trying to protect their citizens, okay? Now, where the problem comes in for a foreigner, and this is the situation on the Facebook group, you come over here for a visit, you've got a girlfriend here, maybe you're meeting her for the first time, or you've been here before and seen her, or whatever the situation might be, but normally it's with a girlfriend, and you decide on a whim, hey, let's go to Vietnam, let's go to Indonesia, let's go somewhere for a weekend or a week, and you book tickets, and like any Westerner would do, you've got your passport, you book the tickets, you go to the airport, boom, you leave, no big deal. You may check if you need you may check and arrange to get a visa if needed. The Filipino girlfriend, a lot of countries that she can travel to. Just one off, going to Vietnam. The Filipino doesn't need a visa, but the American does. But it's no big deal. You can do it online, and it's real cheap. But just like that, so you check those, but you don't check into requirements for her to leave the country for the first time. Now, she may have a passport, and that's fine. Or maybe you helped get her a passport. And that's all fine. You can have a passport, but it doesn't mean that you can leave. And what happens is you get to the airport, you don't have everything all lined up, and they go to immigration, and they have this secondary interview desk that I guess they send you to. And they start asking a lot of questions, okay? And they want to see a few things. They want to see a round-trip ticket with her name. They want to see hotel bookings, okay? And so I don't know if you can always get her name on that, but some way or another you'd want to have her name on the hotel booking. She needs this proof. And then they get into a lot of personal questions, and a lot of these questions are not going to be a lot of fun to answer. Most Westerners will be insulted by them, okay? Because they get real, it's a, let's face it, it's an interrogation. They are very suspicious. In fact, more suspicious because you're a foreigner, because that's the people that are trafficking people like this. They don't know what the situation might be. You could easily be a trafficker, come over here, recruited a person for a job, so to say, and you just explain that your company hasn't passed all the requirements. It takes a couple years, but we need some people now, so we're coming here and we're personally escorting them over for the job, but because we don't have all this paperwork, please let's just pretend that we're boyfriend, girlfriend, and we're going somewhere for the weekend, okay? We'll take some pictures together to show them at the airport, all this type of stuff. And they get to wherever they're going, and next thing you know, she's being sold. to do who knows what. So this is what they're looking for, and it is a big problem. And so it has happened quite a few times for guys just on a whim taking off. Now, she may not know nothing about this. Maybe she doesn't have any friends that went OFW. They don't know about all these requirements. They've never heard this. They've probably never looked into going to another country because it was, kind of out of reach for them. And so they didn't know. And even OFWs are sometimes a little taken back by everything it takes to get out of the country. They go through an awful lot. They have to go to seminars. They need a lot of things put together just so that they can leave. We do a lot of the printing of documents for them at our shop, and the list for them it's a very long, complicated process for them. But then, like I said, there's people that don't know anything about it, so they trust you, saying, "Hey, I'm an American. You're traveling with me. It'll be no problem. Let's just go have a good time for a weekend, or let's go spend a week." And anyway, you get there to the airport, and they're not real happy with all your answers. They're not satisfied, and they don't allow her to fly. And here's your flight getting ready to leave. You're almost late because now you've been in this interview for a while. And there ruins your short vacation over to another Asian country. So this is in no way to discourage you from doing this. This is to let you know, hey, there are some things you're going to need to do, okay? There's some things you need to do ahead of time and be prepared for it. One of the best things I could probably advise for anybody is, instead of booking your flight yourself, go use a travel agent, okay? You pay a little bit more, but it's not much. And if you go to, your bigger travel agencies, a lot of them handle immigration items, for foreigners or different immigration things. And if you ask them about that, about her flying the very first time, and they come out and they go, "Oh yeah, well, you have a checklist here. We go through this all the time." That's what you're looking for, okay? Don't let someone just say, "Oh yeah, just watch a video here and there." I went on and looked myself before doing this. It's mostly OFWs or some people traveling, just vacationers, and most of them are all in Tagalog, so I'm only picking up parts of it myself. But it would be wise for her to look at some. But a travel agent like that knows all the up-to-date, especially all the up-to-date requirements that people are going to need to make, and what steps you need to take to help give them a good feel about, the immigration officer, give them a good feel that, okay, this is legit. That way you don't miss going on your trip together, okay? A few extra steps. Now, after they've traveled once or twice, it becomes a lot easier. Plus, they know, oh, let me make sure I've got my itinerary for my round-trip ticket, my hotel stay, and then they're able to travel quite a bit easier. And when they see that they've traveled successfully with no problems a couple times, they look through the passport, then you get through there a lot easier. Now, I believe a year ago when I saw this come up, it was actually the guy's wife. They came here, they got married here, but now she had never been out of the country. And I believe some of the paperwork was off. The marriage certificate hadn't come through or had not changed the passport. There was something extra on that one, but she was offloaded, and it was the guy's wife. Okay, so it can happen even if you're married. So definitely take the steps, research it, look into it ahead of time. And like I said, probably my best advice would be to use a travel agent that is experienced in helping you get through and avoid an offload problem. That's what they call it here, is offloading. So in case you was ever wondering, but don't take it for granted that because you're an American citizen or a Canadian citizen, you got that Western passport, that they're just going to let you through. It's not going to happen that way, okay? It doesn't carry that kind of clout. In fact, probably raises an extra red flag that she's flying with a foreigner, okay? And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for red flags, and they're looking to clear up the red flags. Once that airplane takes off and the wheels are up, they have no control. They don't know what's going to happen to her. In a few hours she could be at a hotel enjoying a dinner with you, or she could be sold to somebody as a human traffic. So they need to be sure about it. So by all means, take your time, find out what you need, get everything together, and go in there and be ready for it. Now, definitely leave your attitude in the cab at the airport, okay? Take your patience with you. Leave your attitude, because your attitude will not get you anywhere with immigration. We'll probably end the interview right away, and vacation is over, okay, right there. And don't bribe them, okay? God's sakes, don't bribe them. That would almost be considered to them an admission of guilt of trafficking. And you don't want that, okay? You'll be going somewhere, but your bunkmate will not be your girlfriend, okay? So just, keep your cool, understand why they're doing it and what they need. Don't be offended by the questions, and whatever you do, enjoy your time, okay? First time for a Filipino to leave the country, go see another country, even if it's for a weekend, it's going to be a really big deal. It's going to be a big hit, and so by all means, enjoy it, but just be ready for it, okay? Hope this helps, and y'all take care. I'll be back for another video here real soon. Okay, bye.